എന്താ ഊട്ടാ?
Hello. Yes, madam. Yeah, I already joined.
Oh, you are here. You are here, sir. Okay, stop share.
Okay. Just a minute. Okay, my video is not there.
ഭയങ്കര വേദനിക്കണ്ട.
Hello.
പുക വരുന്നു.
Good afternoon, dear all participants, dear resource person of the day. We'll start our second session of our day one in few minutes. We are planning to start the session by sharp 2 p.m. itself. Participants, kindly note that the feedback link will be shared in the chat window before 5 minutes before the end of the session. And the feedback link will be available only for 30 minutes. Kindly please make a note of that. Murthy sir, shall we start our session, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Let me give a short introduction. So very good afternoon to all participants and our resource person. Our second session of day one. The topic is understanding about network communications for security. For the session, we have here with us Mr. A.S. Murthy. He is currently Associate Director and HOD for Information Security Services, CDAC, Hyderabad. Murthy sir has long-standing, highly productive and techno-administrative acumen for project proposals submission to project completion and deployment, feasibility studies, requirement analysis, organization of workshops, seminars, and technical exhibitions. As part of systems, networks, and cybersecurity teams, with technology leadership with more than 20 years of experience, he is passionate about technology and IT management in business transformation. Murthy sir is a think tank member for R&D for systems and network security teams and IT ICT management. His research, management vision, and contribution also encompass into many fields, having initiated Param computing facilities at Hyderabad Center. initiated cybersecurity services in CDAV and played key role in achieving empaneled for CDAC during the period of 2000 leading audit and assessment teams at CDAC, designing development of IT, ICT, and cyber projects with DRDO, IICT, University of Hyderabad, NGRI. He is instrumental in designing, developing secured architectures for protocol analysis, incident and network monitoring for critical infrastructure and strategic purposes. He is also instrumental in establishing national labs like ISEA, ND, CRTC labs for capacity and capability building activities in information security. He is leading cybersecurity audit and assessment activities for 30 organizations and more than 500 applications. We welcome you, sir, to the session. Over to you, Murthy, sir. Once again, we welcome you to St. Kitts.
Yeah, thank you very much, Preeta madam. So the first session was very nice because of from the IIT Roorkee, but this session is basically after lunch. Maybe I think it is a hands-on session, but within a short time of 90 minutes, the hands-on session may not be possible fully. But however, I'll try to give a confidence in creating your own lab by yourself so that you can work for your research, your development activities, and understanding the security. I think some sound is coming from here or from any other member. So I request, please mute all. Thank you very much. So still somebody is using mobile from your side, so that please mute. So admin, I request to mute all. Is it from my side? Okay, thank you. So again, enabled by please mute.
Sure,
Admin,
sir,
please.
We are doing. Sure, sir, we are doing.
Yeah. So we'll try to give the confidence level. Hanumanth Nair ji, you have to, okay. Anyway, so it's better that something was stopped. Thank you very much. I try to give the confidence level because some of the people may know this lab because if you're already working in cyber security. But however, if some people doesn't know anything about the cyber security and just started to learn recently, we'll try to give you a confidence in such a way that you can set up your lab at your place. But however, the resources are required in such a way that you require a kind of a computer which is having minimum 8 GB. 8 GB is a comfortable zone for doing understanding this communication, at least TCP/IP communication labs. Because the whatever the security we are talking about today, the basically on communication security, data security, information security. So like you have a various modules are there in the cyber security. It could be an information security module where you are securing the information, or you are protecting the devices in such a way that continuously monitoring them in, you need to do that, or otherwise you are implemented intrusion detection system in such a way that you need to monitor the activities. Tomorrow you are establishing SOC, security operations center, where you are collecting the various data. So it's all these kind of data or information devices are depending on your communication. So any member who is coming part of cybersecurity, he should be learning about the TCP/IP. The TCP/IP is the main core protocol for entire your internet communication. So until you understand this communication, see, it is a, I'll always say that it is a mandatory to understand about the TCP/IP communication before you are coming to the cybersecurity area. Why? Because I'm saying that if you are not understanding about this communication packets and all, so it would be very difficult to do any kind of a practical in cybersecurity. So that is where we need to look about various protocols, how they works, what is the thing that when you are accessing a website, that whoever accessing that website and a legitimate user or not, or otherwise something is happened or something is going on wrong on your website communication, whether you wanted to investigate or doing some forensic activity, you required some understanding of the TCP/IP. So until that, it would be very difficult. So that's what you can create a lot of cybersecurity labs, but if you can create these labs at your system, it would be good for you, because whenever you require, you try and you can do it and you increase your confidence level. And while you are teaching, if you are a part of the teaching side, so it gives a is immense pleasure to find out some of the frauds or something is happening. Let's take example, while you are using an internet at your home. So there are a lot of data is coming. Internet is, you are using 100 Mbps, but still you are not able to download a simple file. So what could be the reason? You wanted to find it out. So that interest, if you create it by yourself, then you can all do all these labs very easily. Because for that, what you need to understand, there is an intrusion on your Wi-Fi router where some people are using your data or killing your data by simply using a DDoS attack. DDoS in the sense distributed denial of service attack or direct denial of service attack, or something like they were using your internet as a sharing. So to identify them, who is sharing, how they are sharing your internet connectivity, all these all creates a kind of an immense pleasure to you identify the things. So before going to that, you need to have a TCP/IP understanding in detail, so that practically if you know that how packet works, then it would be very easy to do all the practicals. So for anything you wanted to implement at your system itself, you may be knowing about that already virtual box which we use it. That means whatever the practicals which you are planning to do, that you can do within your system. You can create your own network. That is where I'm trying to explain to you today, so that how you can implement the labs. Maybe one or two labs I try to explain in running notes, so that you can understand and do the practical by your own itself. Let's take example. You required a virtualization, because what is the major difference between physical and virtualization? Because this lecture is not scope of the explaining the virtualization, but however, you have a greater resource of your computer. Let's take example, your computer is having a quad core machine with an 16 GB, and there is a lot of hard disk space. But if you are installing a Windows operating system, it is not required these many resources. You may be required 4 GB. That would be enough for your Windows desktop system. And resources also, whatever the cores are. So until you do high-end work like a multimedia, video editing, such kind of works at a time parallelly, maybe it's not required. So most of the resources, hardware resources are unnecessarily waste, is becoming waste, and you do not. So that is where virtualization concept came. Whether I can install another 2 or 3 operating system, and I can make network and do that. And this virtual system can be given on VPN to other users, so that whomever don't have any kind of such kind of resources, whether you can share it. So more on sharing of that, like more on you are working on a physical operating system. Similarly, you can or work on virtualization. So basically the VMware desktops are there, workstations are there, VirtualBox is there, KVM is there. These are the softwares are available. But however, I'll try to explain from that from first onwards how to install this VirtualBox. From there itself we'll start. Just a minute, give me 1 minute so that I'll open my documents and share. Share entire computer. Is it visible about my desktop? Anybody? Hope that it is visible. So I'm starting with first of all, anything you wanted to create a lab by yourself, you should have a virtual box. It's good. It's not only virtual box. Virtual box is coming as a free. That's what I am recommending as a free. Otherwise, you are capable of doing something where you can buy something. Then you can buy virtual workstation. Virtual workstation, so that VMware workstation, where you can buy it. But when you can use it, when you are getting with a free edition and in the same work, then why can't we use VirtualBox? That is what we thought it. See, your operating system, maybe a Windows or Linux, it works for both. So what are the steps which we are giving here in this? Basically, so these are the steps. You need to download VirtualBox, and whether it could be a Windows version or Linux version or even the Mac version, whatever the version you have operating system, you can download the VirtualBox. That is what it's an advantage. But however, then you need to download the executable file, and you need to start the installation process, which we will look into that. Let you go to that first virtualbox.org. So please note down, or otherwise I try to share these files, but these files are many. So till we get shared, then better you write something. You need to visit virtualbox.org website, where you have all the options of download latest version VirtualBox 6.1. But before downloading, you better you should have minimum 4 GB. And if you have a 8 GB, that's good. 16 GB is very well. You can create as many as virtual machines, as many operating systems. So, so 16 GB is, you can do most of many of the operating systems where you wanted to work on. But 4 GB is minimum. But 4 GB, you know that your operating system itself is it is hosting on your operating system, where your host operating system required many applications may be there. So I suggest 8 GB memory is very ideal position. So once, if you go to that VirtualBox binaries, so you can download, either it should be a Windows source or OS X source, Linux distribution. Even if you have somebody using Solaris, you can download directly. So I'm thinking that you are all using VirtualBox 6.1.12 platform on Windows host. So many people may be using Linux, so that you click the Linux distribution. Otherwise, Linux distribution. Okay, download the executable file, which looks like for Windows, you know very well about this virtualbox dot this one. When you double click, so this is the general screen will come. Welcome to the Oracle VM VirtualBox setup. Then maybe in the first user, and wherever the space is there in the disk, you can browse it and change it. Otherwise, tomorrow, if you want to see, the beauty of this is that in tomorrow you don't have hard disk space, so you can also, an operating system can start through USB. So that's what VirtualBox USB support also. You please download it. And when you are downloading 4R My Missions, if you want to create a networking, VirtualBox networking, you can do that. So that could be a bridge network, host network that I will try to explain within the next slides. Otherwise, if you have an expertise, you go to the documentation, read it. Otherwise, by default, you try to install the same. And this is any kind of software which gives the create start menu entries, shortcut on desktop. As per your comfortness, you can select it. Mostly the people will immediately to run that desktop is always useful. So then you have to also install network interfaces where basically the interfaces will be interact with the installed virtual machines. So among the whatever you installed operating system, they can install talk to each other, and also you are installing all these machines through virtual machine on an host machine. So suppose if your host machine is having internet, and if you require any one of the machines also require internet, so there could be either bridge network or a proper network can be established so that the whole virtual machines can talk to internet. So it is also working as a sandbox. If something is happening in the virtual box, so that you never, suppose let's say you got in a file which is unknown person. Nowadays you are getting a lot of awareness tips. You should not click the file which is came from the unknown person. In that case, if you want to really look into that, what is that file, whether it is having a malware, or you want to do analysis of malware within the one of the system where you created as a virtual machine, so you can directly forward to or you can open that thing into a sandbox. Once you are downloaded, you maybe your network can be closed, then you double click it and see that what is the activities happening, how malware is behaving. All these things can be worked out in generally in such kind of environment. So is this virtualization is also working as a sandbox. So once you started installed, the files would be installed. Then this is what final message to start Oracle VM VirtualBox 6.12 after installation. So generally this is a first phase after once you installed launch VirtualBox application, and it is similarly look like the same way. Just a minute. So the same way the VirtualBox, this is where I already installed three virtual boxes in this my system itself. If you look into that this particular screen, and similarly once you installed, you can so now what is that exactly you can do that afterwards? You need to install such kind of an installation of virtual machine in your VirtualBox. This is what we do the second step. So what are the things you can do in this installation of VirtualBox? So basically the first step is maybe tools required Oracle VirtualBox. Maybe you installed Oracle VirtualBox in the previous step, and maybe now you required ISO images, Ubuntu, Windows 7, CentOS. So for that, simply you download any kind of emissions. Like if you go there and just click that. So basically, for all security purpose, all security tools, you required Kali Linux. Kali Linux. Just type Kali Linux images. Kali Linux image in Ground. So this is official website is there, www.kali.org. Simply click that official image. See, basically you can see that Kali Linux 64-bit installer. Installer is basically is like installing that operating system, but you can directly install image in the VirtualBox. If you wanted to install on a bare hardware metal, then you require installer. Otherwise, so it's better always take the images. So if you have a VMware workstation, you can install VMware, or otherwise virtual box images. You see that if your machine is 64-bit, then you can 64-bit or 32-bit, and this can be developed into offensive security, where now offensive security is maintaining these images. Kali Linux VMware 64 2023 version, and this is the 2.2 size, and this is the SHA algorithm 256M. So this is basically, you know, that SHA and MD5 are used for your cyber security integrity purpose, because after downloading, see Kali, after downloading you can test with the MD5 SAM, and the same key is visible, then only you can say that there is no there is a kind of an integrity is available. Nobody is tampered this kind of a download. So simply, if you have ARM-based devices, you can also Kali download it, or otherwise you can download this also. So then, what is that exactly you do this? So you have to install this Kali by yourself. For installing, so you can simply click new and type Kali Linux. So because you are installing Kali Linux, and it may be there available somewhere, others like lab virtual boxes. So actually you require the images. In these images, that images, maybe you type up the folder, you have to select it, then you can start the activity the same way what we are explaining at this time. So this is one of the thing. Then second is, so if anything kind of in a lab, if you are creating, see, because this is what your physical mission, and the physical mission you are trying to install your 3 missions at this moment. You can theoretically you can install 128 missions, but however your RAM could not be shared for entire 128 GB. So that's what we recommended, minimum 8 GB, where you can give Windows is 2 GB, minimum is required. Similarly, Linux also 2 GB RAM, and another CentOS is also you can 2 GB RAM, where hosting mission already may be required a 4 GB. So 8 GB, 2 GB, 2 GB, 2 GB. So this is where if you can give it, your labs could be faster, and you can do very easy and way. So that's what. So once if you are installed, you have to install one by one all images, so that, so basically these are the steps. Download the VirtualBox installer for operating system, which we have completed. Download the ISO file. You have to search an ISO file where you can directly install it. Let's say example, this was downloaded from my side in the ISO file. If you are looking to that, so this is the ISO file, like this is virtual disk image, or this one is the open virtualization architecture. So this is the properties. If you look into that, so this is a kind of a virtual box manager. So archive OVA format. That's what you need to change it and open it directly manager, so that it can install it. Otherwise, if you look into the here image, this properties, it is a basically VDA format. So why I'm saying that the formats which supported by VirtualBox, you need to download. In case we are installed VMware Workstation instead of VirtualBox, you need to download such formats. Even the Windows format is also available. You can download directly Windows machine also. So there is no need to worry about the licensing and all, because Windows machine operating system also they were giving 60 days version. Maybe sometimes even the 180 days version is in the image format. Afterwards only you can buy it. But for doing a research lab, you don't require that many days, so that you can download various platforms, even the directly Microsoft format, and understand the licensing for using the free, so that free time, that is whatever the 90 days, 180, 60 days, 90 days, 168, depending of the operating system. If it is some workstations, they will give it 60 days. If the server, they may give it 180 days also, but it is only for the as a image. Okay, these are the steps which we do it. You can go to the releases ubuntu.com 64 like this. If you wanted to install Ubuntu 16.047 LTS, So you can install this, particularly this website, and the selected ISO file will be downloaded. So this is what you need to save it at your place. Then simply you select add. So when you click add, then definitely it is whatever I shown before, Ubuntu 16.04, type it, and automatically when you say Ubuntu, this automatically changes in general. But however, in case it is not changing, you need to select the respective Linux operating system, respect to Ubuntu, if it is Ubuntu, if it is CentOS, if you mentioning the right operating system here itself, so that virtual box can take that and adjust its settings accordingly. Then once if you selected, then it is asked about what is the memory you wanted to allocate this particular VM, because your VM size total is 8192 GB, but however some GB is already occupied, because so that accordingly you can adjust it. The beauty of this virtualization is whenever you want to reduce your RAM, you can reduce. Whenever you wanted to increase one of the machines to increase, you can increase also. The simply you can select whatever the RAM. Here we are selecting the recommend memory size is as a 1024 MB, but however we are selecting 2 GB, this one. So when there are two options are create to virtual hard disk, one is to create new hard disk and other is to access the existing hard disk. So as one more advantage of virtualization is that once you installed that image, you can save it as a file, and even you can transfer to different systems. Suppose let's say if my VMS, if I wanted to download, I can keep it on website so that I can give the link so that you can download it automatically. In similar, so when you are downloading from Ubuntu image, so that also it can be downloaded from the Ubuntu directly, or even the Microsoft Windows operating system also you can directly download as either VMI, VDI, or VHD. So basically, here is three different types of extension files are there. One is VirtualBox disk image, where VDI, which generally it is prepared for virtual disk, and VMDK is basically VMware workstation images, and VHD is Microsoft Virtual PC is there. This also you can download from the Microsoft website. Instead of VirtualBox, you can install Virtual PC also. So after selecting the existing virtual image, select next and continue with step 14. If you doesn't have installed existing image, a new image to install through VirtualBox. So to create a new image, select create new hard disk. When it is selected like this, do not add a virtual hard disk or create a virtual hard disk. So the do not add a virtual hard disk is basically, let's say if your image, or if like sometimes you are getting operating system in CDs, live Linuxes. If you wanted to use that live hard disk from live image or live operating system of Linux in CD format, so you can select do not add a virtual hard disk, where you can use live Linux directly. Otherwise, you want to install a permanent operating system in the VirtualBox, you need to create a virtual hard disk now. And otherwise, like if we have image where you already installed in one of the computer system, or your friend was installed and you wanted to bring it and use it, so you can directly bring it in the format whatever the VDI, VHD, or virtual PC image, that can bring it, and you can just add. In that case, you have to select third one, use an existing virtual hard disk file. Now select the type of file which you want to select. Here with a virtual disk image. So because we downloaded directly, so then a dynamically allocated hard disk file will only use space on our physical hard disk as it fills up. Suppose let's say you are copying as many as files, it is dynamically increasing its size. Otherwise, if you can lab purpose and reducing the size purpose, you can limit this size to minimum. Let's say that installed operating system required 3 GB minimum, you can keep for 4 GB. For you need to add some data, no? So that's what 4 GB or 6 GB pixel size you can make it, so that you can maximum add 6 GB. Other than afterwards, after whatever the size the operating system installed. So then generally we will work it out, because these images we will copy into other same image. So we can use it multiple machines. That's what we always say is dynamically allocated. That is what in the step. And file location and size. See, you are installing in a host machine this entire operating system, whatever the virtual image, where that file exactly located. In case tomorrow you wanted to copy paste into another communication, that is where another computer, that is where it is required this folder. So here it is saving in the C driver itself. Tomorrow your C drive caches, you won't get this file also. So generally we always recommend into a different file, or after installation, once image created and working condition, then immediately take a backup. That is where we suggest it. So here we are giving 10 GB. Then next step, so once we installed, so that's what is already installed. Now this is the way environment is there. Let's say I open my VM. Let's say same VM here, similar way it's there. I selected this same USB. Now you see the settings. You can set in settings, you can set all the things. This is Ubuntu 8.0. It's the e-learning VM, and this operating system, because of Ubuntu 18.0 Linux and the Ubuntu 16.4 64-bit. So this is one. When it is going advanced, where is the snapshot? What do you mean by snapshot? See, you walk it till 2 o'clock in the night and you wanted to save it, you just snapshot, you take it. Whatever the image, otherwise you are moving to one place to another place, and but you cannot take your computer. You only can take this image and present at Delhi or somewhere. So that image only you can take it to that. This is the 10 GB file. You take 16 GB USB, take snapshot, entire VM you can take it. Wherever you are going to other office, other department, if you have the similar system and virtual bags, similarly, same way, whatever we discussed, you just copy it and demonstrate your entire activity. So that is where your snapshot means recording as it is at that time, total entire disk. So this is a description, no disk encryption. If you wanted to enable disk encryption, you can enable it. You can select AES. So that's others won't do any kind of so total entire disk would be encrypted. Even though if you're losing in between, they can't do anything. Then system. See, we selected total. This is what 64 GB mission. This one actually in the present mission, where we allocated for this particular GB Ubuntu 8 GB. If you want to reduce anytime, you can reduce also. If you want to increase anytime, you can reduce also. Increase in or decreasing. It's very easy. So without starting, without implementing also, you can do it. And within seconds, your system would be ready. Boot order, if this image, as you see that when we are installing in our image in the previous, like in a desktop 10 years back, we use it to boot it with the floppy, we use it to optical device or hard disk, optical in the CD drive or otherwise hard disk. So that way we are here also. You can do the same. If somebody put up the wanted to put up a floppy, still they are using a floppy as a bootable system, or CD. Your system is having hard disk, but this image you wanted to start with optical device, or you can through CD also you can boot it. In that the two are not working, by default it will take hard disk. So hard disk anyway you install, so that VDA itself it will start it. So chipset is what are the chipset you are using. That chipset, it will be their pointing devices, PS2 mouse or USB mouse or USB multi-touch tablet. So these are all these things, how you are installing a normal system. All the things are available here itself. You can wanted to adjust your display, you can do it. Storage, if you want to do what kind of storage, IDE or SCSI or anything that you can have. Here look like in it, there are one CD-ROM drive, one hard disk are available in this. Audio drivers are there. Network, which we will come back in the network. What is the NAT, bridge adapter? These many things are there. We will look into that part. Like serial ports, USB, SAID folders, user interface, everything we can select all these things here itself. And simply now start, the mission would be starts like anything, any other mission. So it's starting in background, where we will look into the other document. So to your virtual machine settings, the following section. There are sections are there: general, system, display, all we discussed today, serial ports, USB, and other things. So whatever we showed it. Okay, then what is the, once you install the image, what is the next step? VirtualBox network, which we will see. So what is exactly VirtualBox network? See, basically we are where we have seen not attached. So there are, these are the major options are available in the virtual network: not attached, NAT network, bridge adapter. We are going to discuss about this virtual network modes under virtual network networking adapters. Any adapter you take, you can install with one adapter itself 4 or 5 adapters, virtual adapters also. If your system is required 4 different networks physically, your image wanted to connect, you can create as many as in this, as we discussed it. So it's already running this message. View, this is your system. So coming to network settings, network. Here we install only one network. So that's what we are using this one. Otherwise, if the system is, you can create at the network adapter also. You can create 4, 5 adapters, minimum 4 adapters here. This you can connect it. Then each virtual machine can use total virtual network adapter, also known as NIC. 4 virtual network adapters can be configured at VirtualBox GUI, and 8 can be configured VirtualBox manage modify VM, which is a command line utility. So in this, there are 2 are there. One is VirtualBox GUI, where you can conduct 4 only, basically default. And but if you have a virtual manager within yourself, you can connect 8 virtual machines. That means one system, if we have 8 different virtual images are there with the virtual different networks available, all these things wanted to connect each other and communicate each other, you can create it. One is 192.168.1.0, another one 2.0, like 10.44.1.0, 10.34.1.0, 172.16.80, whether A class, B class, C class, you can connect different 8 networks, because 8 different networks, 8 different systems, you require routing capabilities that can be created through this virtual image. So that's what it is, very easy for doing research and all with this. So a virtual network adapter is software emulated physical device. There is a 6 virtual adapter types can be virtualized by VirtualBox. The first one is this one, AMD PCNet. These are the 6 different are there, which we will look into that. But before that, we will discuss about what is exactly this bridge adapter, not attached, and NAT network, internal network, host only adapter, generic driver. So what is the NAT attached? A virtual network adapter is installed in a VM, but the network connection is missing. Much like when you unplug the Ethernet network cable when using a physical network adapter, this mode can be useful for testing only. See, let's say I said that you have a malware, you downloaded, you have in your host machine, you got an email in such a way that definitely that file is somebody sent with a malware. When if you have a doubts what you have, what exactly you do, so you give the internet connectivity, where however mode, there's a NAT mode or bridge mode, to the internet connectivity should be available in one of the virtual images where you can analyze that file. So you log in your email and download that file. Once you download the file, that file may do some kind of problems with respect to that operating system, because it is a malware. So before executing that particular file or opening that file, you remove the network or select not attached in the virtual box, so that network connection will be tear down with the existing, and there is no communication with even the host machine also, because host machine is your actual machine, that if that corrupts, everything corrupts. So that's what you are not downloading that file in your host message. You are trying to download in a virtual message. Once you download also, now you double click it or open it or do some activity on that file where it can create some havoc on your computer also, when there is a connectivity between your virtual images and your host image, so that you not attach it if you select it after downloading. So there is no communication is going on. So what is the second option? NAT. NAT means you people may be knowing already, network address translation. So basically this it is using virtual NAT, virtual network address translation device. That means your host machine is available. Your host machine is under that there are three network or network based operating system or images are available. So if you want to connect external network, and you should have some internet connectivity within that virtual machines, that means connecting external network, nothing but internet are accessible from the guest operating system. A guest machine is not accessible from the host machine. See, NAT is always useful. What is that? A guest machine is not accessible from a host machine, because you are this virtual box you installed on your Windows machine. Here Windows machine is nothing but host machine. Whatever that another Ubuntu machine which you installed as an image is the guest operating system. So in this NAT mode, you cannot access from your Windows, actual Windows operating system, to any one of the virtual images of this particular virtual box. So nothing can be accessed from your host machine also. When the NAT mode is used for virtual box networking, your host machine cannot access any image. So this default network mode is sufficient for users who wish to use a VM just for internet access. Because but you require internet activity, no? Internet activity can come through only host machine. So when you, but if you are downloading something, a wrong file, or in the sense of a malware file, that would be download automatically through your host machine only, because your virtual machines are connected first host machine and will go. But if you select NAT mode, there is no communication other than internet. Internet is also like in a pipe. So it's a VPN kind of thing. It's not actually VPN. It's a doing by address translation and pushing the data to the this particular folder rather than saving into the actual operating system. The IP address of the VM network adapter is obtained via DHCP. So for that you require DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, and the IP addresses of the network used in the network mode cannot be changed in the GUI. VirtualBox has a inbuilt DHCP server, so we should not worry about to create another DHCP server and a NAT engine. A virtual NAT device uses the physical network adapter of the VirtualBox. That means whatever that guest OS on virtual image, which is virtual image, directly using the network card rather than using the operating system related software, where your host system operating system software. So that is where NAT is very important. So if you look into that, this is the your virtual images, network mode, NAT, network mode node. So this will be directly connecting to the respective WAN physical IP address rather than the operating system data and operating system folder to access. So directly it will go to the, so this IP, whatever the 10.002 is virtually allocated here itself, your image is directly connecting here and directly accessing the internet. That is the mode of NAT, where when it is coming to the NAT network, you can have this mode is similar to the NAT mode that you use for configuring a router. If you use the NAT network mode for multiple virtual machines, they can communicate with each other via the same network. The VMs can access other hosts in the physical network and can access. So let's say if you wanted to control some of the machines, only one machine you wanted to give the access to NAT and internet, that you can select NAT mode of that machine and you can do the everything. But if more than one machine wanted to have similar internet connectivity, then you need to create a NAT network. NAT network is also one of the option, so that it can be selected and the same devices like in a hub, that only one network interface card of your host is working like a hub. Hub is a nothing but hub doesn't understand from where it is coming. Logical addressing, it won't understand. Even the physical address also, it won't understand. Whatever the packets are coming, it should be copied into other side, because it doesn't know about address of the remotely where it's sent. So when I don't know where to send, what I will do, whomever connected, everybody, I'll ask that whether this packet is yours or this packet is yours. So one of the member definitely may take it, or in case if they are not taking, then only I will say drop it. Otherwise, without confirming, I won't drop it. If without confirming, I'm dropping it, that is called as a firewall. But here we are talking about the hub environment. Hub, generally it sends, hub is nothing but repeaters. Repeater is nothing but it will generally do that, enhancing the signals in the communication and forward other side. So hub is nothing but multi-port repeater, which simply forwards that whomever the ports are connected in that switch, it would be forwarded. So here, what is the security problem? If anybody is communicating one member to other member, or even the connecting external, all other 6 ports, if it is 8 port, will also know that what exactly they are communicating each other. So there is a big security problem. So this is what you need to understand. So the how to identify the of the important of the files. So next, NAT network, then network may you have to give a network address, this 10.0.2.024, where 24 that means 255 IP addresses can connect in one single LAN kind of network, and it can be given automatically the IP address through DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. Okay. Then bridge adapter, the third one. This mode is used for connecting the virtual net adapter via of a VM to a physical network to which physical network adapter of the virtual box host machine is connected. A VM virtual network adapter uses the host network interface for a network connection. So that means, so this works directly host network, host machine, internet connectivity. It is like a sharing of the host machine. If your host machine is 100 Mbps card, whomever virtual images you loaded in that particular thing, so that 100 Mbps only, it will share it directly. However, you may raise one doubt in the previous case also, in the format of NAT, also is directly taking the image, but there no operating system involvement or controlling. Here, it will be going through host. Whatever the rules applied for the host machine, that would be applied here, so that it would be further then. Otherwise, everything will go to the through your bridge operating system. So every information also known by your bridge operating system itself. So this is where we do that. Basically, we this bridge adapter. So either way, you will connect the internet when you have a connectivity is there. Okay. In the in the first session, maybe NAT mode. So use that machine, host machine cannot connect any VM machine, but can connect internet. So that is one good mode, where bridge mode is basically used for the control environment of host machine. Once if you know that, now what is that exactly your security, this is what setup you need to do that. So once if you have done this setup, what is exactly happens, your lab is ready. Either you are installing 2 Linux, 3 Linux, 4 Linux, 1 Windows, or 4 Windows, 1 Linux, or 2 Windows, 1 Linux machine. As many as machines you can do it. Whether using DNS server, whether using anything, you can understand. So basically, that is where you need to install this virtual box either in your Windows machine or Linux machine or Mac machine. It can be installed. If we have 16 GB, you can do any kind of practical of cyber security, and you can demonstrate any kind of a system with 4 or 5 very easily. If you don't have 8 GB, we explained about that how to reduce. Suppose let's say out of 4 images, 1 image is required more memory when it is on, so that you can increase it. Where the memory is not required, you can decrease it. In this mode, you can very nicely, you can manage the memory management, operating system management, and even the network management and connectivity. This is what required for any kind of the cyber security labs. First you install it, because until you don't have a operating systems, until you don't have a web service, until you don't have kind of devices which you required, and if you are prone to attack, if you are not implementing, you cannot see practically. Let's example, there is a Windows web server is there. You also install Kali Linux, where the Kali Linux is basically set up the cyber security tools which you can install it. So what is exactly the Kali Linux, which you anyway you will learn it, but we will discuss once for 10 minutes about exactly Kali Linux tools and how you do that. Just a minute. So the security auditing and forensics. Let's say if you are doing some kind of a job is security auditing and forensic. So first of all, I'll install Kali Linux. Hindu goddess, destroyer of evil forces. Generally, we say Kali, but is really the name came because of this or something else, we don't know. But it is based on the Debian-based Linux distribution aimed at advanced penetration testing and security auditing. But remember it, it's not only for that. Even they can do a malware research engineering, DBG, all these things also required for to attack for an attacker or hacker. So even if you are an investigator, you can do the same steps for the same. Kali contains several hundreds of tools aimed at various information security tasks, cyber security tasks, such as the penetration testing, forensics, malware reverse engineering, exploit development. So many things you can do with this Kali distribution itself. The ideal place to start, if you wanted to start using open source tools or even the cybersecurity labs you wanted to implement, this is what the tool. Whether you are taking high-end training or else anything, Kali Linux is there. And even if you are taking a training at Hyderabad in the Gully Mein, so that they also charge 5,000 rupees. They also use Kali Linux. So when we started this Kali Linux use in 2003-4 time pay, at the time its name is Backtrack, and nothing is required. Even though you can boot with the CD and you can do all the things. A lot of tutorials also available in this, and you can install it in a bootable USB, or you can install in live CD, or install in even the encrypted file system. And other than that, we discussed about just now, whether you have a virtual box or KVM or VMware or virtual PC, there also you can install. And even if you want to install as an operating system in the Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud or Amazon Cloud, that also could be done. See that? So there is I'm trying to audit one of the critical organization, where the attack was happened, and we understood same tools what I'm trying to explain now, the same tools only I used. I'm not using any commercial tools. I found so many devices are accessing so many places where it would be basically they were saying that, so because they were updating Microsoft patches of the respective sites, so that they are updating those patches for Microsoft updates. Why Microsoft patches are updating these many continuously? We raised that question while auditing. Okay, while I understood, I collected log, I analysis. They were connecting to Microsoft Azure, but they were connecting to the clouds of Microsoft Azure at Taiwan, China. Singapore, Australia. So I raised it, why a Microsoft patch is coming from four different vendors. But further analysis, I understood they were not Microsoft, they were Microsoft Azure based cloud images. Somebody installed the Kali as an image, Kali kind of tools, image, and taken space at Microsoft Azure as a free and given in a wrong because they were giving some time wrong. That machines are directly connecting these IP addresses and trying to establish the connection. See, these are all the things they were implemented like these images only. It's in a normal, it's not a normal attack. It's in a high-end attack on a critical organization of a government of India where they were doing these things. See, they were thinking that respective administrators and respective people are thinking is basically it is updating in a Microsoft patch. But actually it's not really. Somebody's installed such kind of image continuously collecting that, trying to collect the data and accessing the data and sending in a malware. So taking in a control. So this was, so the same thing, if you are identified, whatever they did, same thing they did. And you mean I am identifying, trying to monitoring also, I am using the same tools. The cyber security doesn't require as many as tools, at least to understand the communication. There are two tools only required. The two tools are Wireshark and Nmap. Okay, so but this Kali is having all kinds of tools. It's just Kali Linux, having an information gathering tool, vulnerability analysis tool, web application tools, wireless attacks tools, exploit tools, and forensic tools, malware revision tools. If you list out, so many are there available, these tools. And this is one of the beautiful network mapper, is a free and open source utility for network discovery and security auditing. Many systems and network administrators also find it is very useful for tasks such as a network inventory, managing. If I wanted to know how many systems are there, what are their IP addresses, what are their MAC addresses, what kind of services are they running, what kind of services are upgraded at the time, and monitoring each and every host in the network, this tool helps me. Nmap uses raw IP packets in novel ways to determine what hosts are available on the network, what services are available in the network, what operating systems they are running, what type of packet filters, firewalls in use. All these things can be known through Nmap. These two tools only we will try to explain and see that how to use them. See, that's what, while after you install using, there is a Ubuntu server, there is a Windows server image can be installed, and this Kali Linux image also installed. One Windows server, you install some web server, Linux server, you install some services, and try this Wireshark communication and understand the communication. See, when it is communication, TCP communication basics, because this is a scope of the actual trial. Understanding the communication basics. So TCP IP communication or TCP uses 6 flags. There's flags are synchronization flag, acknowledgement flag, finish flag, urgent flag, push flag, and reset flag. These 6 flags are generally we use it for the communication between a server client or any communication between anything that is required. So let's take example of, before going to that, we will look into that TCP communication. See, any computer, let's say you only connecting in a web server. In general, web server is running on port 80. So the client is connecting to the port 80. Before, it's like a www.cdac.in or saintgates.org. If whenever I type in browser, that communication, you won't get page immediately, because that communication before that accessing the page, there is a three-way handshake communication always required. What is that three-way handshake communication? The client is sending synchronizes packet to server. I want you to access your page, whether you are running the service or not. That is what synchronization packet, it will send it to the server. where the server responds back with an acknowledgement to that particular synchronization packet. Yes, I am ready for your connection. You can access my page. That is what acknowledgement was given by server, where another acknowledgement packet would be sending with respect to the above two handshakes. Fine, acknowledgement. I am now requesting the page. So these three-way handshake communication is must for an accessing in a web page from a client to server, or for sending in a WhatsApp message or Telegram message, any connectivity. This three-way handshake is must. Then only connection established. Once three-way handshake is happened, then push plus acknowledgement, data transfer would be there. Data is sent from client to the acknowledgement. See, that means pages you are requesting, pages coming. Once handshake is established, whatever the data you can transfer each other. Then while closing the connection, either client or server will send an acknowledgement. Let's say in this example that particular server or particular client itself saying that I wanted to close the connection by sending FIN packet. Once acknowledgement fine, that FIN connection established, when it is reached, the server may be giving an acknowledgement with respect to that FIN. Fine, I am okay for your closing the connection. After sending an acknowledgement, there is another FIN packet. Okay, I am also sending the FIN packet because of anyway you are wanted to close it. Then with respect to this FIN, client sends another acknowledgement by saying goodbye. So while initiating any communication, this is a three-way handshake. While closing the connection, it's in a four-way handshake. These three-way handshake and four-way handshake is very much important for any analyst or any investigator, any security expert, because all these things are depend on these two things only. Let's say example why they are important. So like if somebody is scanning your IP address for knowing about what kind of services are running, this is called connect scan. See, what is that exactly? He's saying that SYN packet. This client was requesting a SYN packet with some request. Then with respect to this SYN packet, server is either give the acknowledgement or reset. Either only two options with server. Either you give the acknowledgement if services is available with you, or otherwise, if your services are not available with you, then reset connect. So that is where either it should send an acknowledgement with respect to SYN or reset. So what is happening here? So then third handshake may acknowledgement, either it is get SYN-ACK or reset, client is sending an acknowledgement. Then also reset. Why it is a reset? In the previous communication, the client wanted to access on a web page. That's why it's push and data transferred with by using the various flags like push and acknowledgement. But here there is no such thing I wanted to access from you. I would like to know about whether service is running or not. That's what I have a sentence. SYN packet, when server is acknowledged, service is available. When server is reset, when I get the reset packet as a client, that service is not running. That means if I am sending a request for an HTTP service, yani web services, if server is getting, if that server is responding with a reset packet, the server doesn't have a web service. So how much information is coming? As an attacker, I know that there is no need to do any kind of to find out. Just send in a synchronized packet with port number 80. I will get it and either reset or acknowledgement. Based on that, I can understand what kind of service is running. If I get then what is that? The three-way handshake process. You have to send in a third acknowledgement. Then I don't have anything to do that. By the time I know that the server is not running or server is running, so simply I am sending in a reset packet so that the connection is closed. For every server, every IP address, I am sending in a port number like port 1, 2, 3. In general, port 1, 2, 3, they won't do it because mostly that by default only they will do it. So let's take example of nmap tool, which I told. Nmap minus hyphen st. Hyphen is nothing but hyphen s is the scanning of t. T is nothing but full scan. And I will give the IP address and minus hyphen p port 80 and 23. So I wanted to know that port 80 is HTTP, port 23 is this particular telnet service. I wanted to know about these two ports only. So simply if you have installed in your Linux machine nmap, this command is enough. But at the time, what is that I have done? I have also started Wireshark to collect the packets, whether it would be done or there. So here in the case, for you, what you do that? You install VirtualBox, you install in a Linux machine, or you install in a web service as a separate images. Then you just access your image so that your web services from Linux machine where you can start nmap or even the Wireshark, so that you will collect the packets and you will understand the packets. So here it is whatever I said that in connect scan, whether it is available. If you look into that in this telnet 23 port, so it is sent this one, but reset came from the telnet, same telnet itself, reset came, so that why telnet is not available. But when you are looking into the HTTP synchronization packet, so then you got an acknowledgement, then this guy was given an acknowledgement, then afterwards you given a reset packet. So four-way handshake is required in this communication. So this way, another example, acknowledgement scan. If an hacker, why I need to do 4 different handshakes, whether I can do within a 2 handshakes to find the same thing. So instead of synchronization packet, that client or hacker sent an acknowledgement packet. What is acknowledgement packet? When it is received by server, it doesn't understand, because as per the rule protocol, I always should get it as in a synchronization packet. But I didn't get it. I'm getting acknowledgement. I don't know what is this, so I won't respond. If server is not responding, that means the server might be having the service. In case if server is doesn't have such kind of service, whatever it say it is requiring hack or sin, I'm not running that service. Why should I bother it? I send in a reset packet. If sending a reset packet, the service is not running on the service. But if the server is not responding within a specified time, the service may be available on the server. That is what that hacker thinks. So within the 2 handshakes, he is able to understand about that whether the service is available in the remote system or not. It is very much clearly knowing by him. So this is where the same thing. If you look into that, the command you can run nmap -s acknowledgement scan a port same 823, and this is what output of scan, output of acknowledgement scan. Okay, now same thing, I'll try to look into that my system. Suppose let's say if you are using this is the virtual box which I loaded before. So this is like any machine like before. You can there same you download, you install in this machine. Now, even after starting, you can see, you can network, you can change the network, system, display. Of course, mission when it is started, you can change it, but some of the missions, some of the other virtual missions, you can do it. So that can be done. So now till now what we discussed is that you have to create a lab for yourself. You have to load either virtual PC from Microsoft, VirtualBox from Oracle, or VMware virtual workstation, VM workstation. Either one of them you can install as your host operating system, which required minimum 8 GB for compatible accessing. For seamless action labs, minimum 16 GB is required. But however, if you can manage within this memory 8 GB, you can do memory. easily. And always you better load Linux machine, because your Linux source machine doesn't require 4 GB memory, 2 GB memory is enough. Then remaining 6 GB you can use for the other images when they create network. Then also once you are installed VirtualBox, majorly we discussed about the VirtualBox, and then how to add images, how to download images from internet, or how to install images by yourself by keeping an operating CD and all, by booting of a CD-ROM drive directly image, and you can install directly on that. So this way you can install it. Then third step, we learned about how to connect the network. Among that, either NAT network, bridge network, whether internet is required, whether you want to access, controlling access. So which one is important, which we discussed. Fourth is, now you need to start your security labs, where we thought of installing a virtual machines, one of the machine like in a web service, telnet service. One machine you don't install telnet service like in another Linux machine. Otherwise you can create two images where one is web service, another one is telnet service. And you can also install Kali Linux as another image, third image. Kali image you can run directly VMware Nmap, where you can Nmap, you start first Wireshark and collect the packets, where that you can give the commands, scanning commands through Nmap, and understand the packets and monitor the packets. Let's say we see that, so we have Wireshark, we have a Wireshark. So Wireshark look like this. Yeah, this Windows problem is there, admin only mode. Everything I have to give the permission, because for the security purpose. No means it's okay. So there may be any interfaces are there, number of interfaces are there in the Linux machine. You can see that, you can capture, you can select whatever the IP, wide one, only wide one only. If we remove wide, then all virtual machines is showing. So let's say Ethernet is my thing. I'll select Ethernet. Yes. So the packets are automatically collecting. So the lot of packets are collecting. So simple thing. See, this is the one first weapon for any investigator and one anything. Okay. Let's take example of like this ARP packet. I wanted to see that this ARP packet. This is the frame of already 10,000 packets. So interface ID, you can see that. What is that when we call frame? So you know very well about there are 5 layers or 4 layers of TCP/IP. When it is application layer, the same packet, data packet, we call data. We called as a data. When it is coming to next layer, that is nothing but transport layer, which we called as a segment. Then when it is a network layer, we called as a packet. Then when it is in a second layer, like a data link layer, we call it as frame. Here, if you look into that, this frame is basically, this is what frame, this means we are looking into the second layer. ARP is an address resolution protocol. It may be majorly, it will go to the up to this internet network layer. The transport layer and application layer, it won't go that. So this is what this network layer, it's a broadcast, all F's are there. This is what network address, this is what physical IP, because network address is this is 48-bit address. Each 2 bits are 8 bits. This 48 out of 24 bits, it's called an what is that adapter? Adapter is Cradlepo. This is the company. And the 3C3393, this is basically the broadcast address. This is the unique IP address. Otherwise 00E01C is nothing but Cradlepo company's address, and this is the serial number. This is the broadcast address. It's a broadcasting and address registration it is trying to find out what is the IP address. Who's the sender? Sender was sent to IP address to the target IP address, but mine is 150, but sender is sending this IP address. Who is the IP address 152? It's they were accessing this one. So there is another tool which I'm also showing about this tool. Nmap. So this is the basically the Windows mission, same Nmap, but Windows mission. If I wanted to give the target, where is the target? So let's say I wanted to see that who is the 250, it is sending information. This is what, no, who is that 22? This is 152, or I wanted to know 10.244.0.1222. The intent scan I'm doing. Yes. So starting npap, same command, loaded 153 script for scanning, completed ARP ping scan at. So parallel DNS resolution on node at 15.8, elapsed initiating stealth scan. So this command, whatever I showed is command T4 minus A. This is what I showed it, no, like an IPNSS, that also you can give it, minus P port also you can give it. So this is what happened. So trace route RTT Swapnil librarian Hyderabad CDAC.in. So there is a problem with the Hyderabad CDAC.in. How do you look into that? So I have to go to the analyze expert information. If you see the expert information, there is a warning is coming from this particular expert information. There is a kind of the non-SYN packets contain MSS option, no response into ICMP packet. See, if you understand about the what are the problem with the TCP/IP, because TCP/IP was designed at one time is for only for communicating from one place to another place. They were not taken care about the security. On build so and so, there are so many solutions came, but the base design is still vulnerable. So for that, to cover that vulnerabilities, you are implemented a lot of activities where that lot of activities could be solved by based on the problems. Sometimes by default, some people will keep it and continue it. And that way you need to look into that and understand this one. And actually, if there is a IDS, take an example of IDS. What is exactly IDS? Intrusion detection system. So intrusion detection system should have a data collector. The data collector is nothing but your Wireshark. Wireshark is nothing but a packet collector. Somebody should collect the packet collector and they should send it to management system. And there is an analyzer will be there. Analyzes the communication. The Wireshark also do the same thing. So is it require IDS? But IDS is the automated process of various clients. But here Wireshark is your own machine. You can analyze by yourself. There is a lot of manual thing is required to look about a thing like that. See, like this, I have to give the place something like that. Now, this would be easily, you can filter it a particularly IP address equal to, okay, some particular IP address you want to look into, you can look into that. So like 10.244.0.1, let's say. See all the communication with respect to the 240.01. So I can see that packets. So whatever the packets are talking about the each other. So there are a lot of features like this are there. So in analyze itself, you can display filters. So how you can display, you can learn by yourself. It's a well documentation is available, and statistics is then you can also follow the IC TCP stream of about this. Okay, then like that you required it. Now I look into that this rule again. I'm taking into back and coming to that. Now I want to access some website like just a minute. Give me some time. Google. Google.com. So I'm saying that what I can see all yours only in URL. In title password, like it's you take it cdac.in. So in that my website, it is nothing is there. How to know passwords and all. I'm not opened. But same thing, your favorite EC Council's ethical hacker, ecouncil.org. You have a lot of documents with respect to that. CHP handbook, EC Council. Candid work, all books are there. So not only that, you can search for some of the things like this one PDF. If you wanted to look in a website, CDAC file to see, Google is itself is the like a hacking tool. It can work. So you want to look into that a PDF file in a particular website. Now I don't want anything. So all PDF files you can list it out. RCS brochure, appendix, all PDF file, and even the doc files also you wanted to see. You just type doc file. Or docx. So something like even the docx also you can download it. See in that such. So anything website like some people may be saying that YouTube how to download. There is a methodology to download YouTube videos also when it is a commercial. See, people also says that there is a dark web, deep web. Dark web, deep web. What is the major difference between dark web, deep web, and even the surface web? Let's say take example. I'll take that figure for you for yourself. Dark web. So this is the picture. I wanted to show it. This is the picture. I wanted to show it. I'll try to explain this picture particularly. So what is there? This World Wide Web, that is also surface web. If you are looking into the what is the surface web, this picture is maybe good. See that whatever the things from the Google, okay, Yahoo, Index, Wikipedia, Reddit, all the things which you can access is the surface web. The second one is the deep web, cloud storage, see, patent data, research articles, legal documents, financial records, my organization records, your organization records are there at your computers, your storage, but they are not enabled in the for general public access. But somewhere these are the you are accidentally or non-accidentally you may be giving, or otherwise if looking into that, if this website only you look into that. This is website. I wanted to have a doc file. So all doc files are of CDAC is available here. Whatever that they were prepared for, whatever the purposes. It's like a simple question paper, sample question paper, or even the real-time question papers also. If we go to that somewhere, real-time papers also, CV docs. See, you can get all the data which are required to doc files. These doc files were sent through web or email to the CDAC for as a resumes and all, where they were copied and pasted in somewhere. So this would be coming as the deep web. Suppose this deep web, somebody like a hacker is collecting the data accidentally or hacking some data and keeping into the hidden mode is nothing but dark web. The people use it to say that this is the 4 to 5%. This is the again 4 to 5%, but 90% is 90 to 92% is only in the deep web, and this itself is very difficult as much as data is there. So 90% data, if you wanted to access, you can access, and there is a lot of things are available in this. In similarly, coming back to my Wireshark, you can see that you can send a kind of a gen map. Now I'm doing a gen map for doing the labs. Genmap is just again. I'll start. What is the Google's address? Can you, anybody can say, message me? So that also I'll see that IP address. Please look up of www.microsoft.com. So, but I cannot access a controlled manner, but IP address we will see that. So this is one of the IP address 104. This is the Microsoft 104 where I'll try to target and map is came no scan. Yes, starting this is happening. 4 ports are available. So discovered a port 443, 480. This is what I am able to find it out. The same thing I think I hope so it is running in my port IP address equal to same IP address. See, see that whatever the communication my system is doing with the particular thing scanning, it's doing scanning, you know, all packets are coming. So let's say if you take from first onwards, CP, ICMP, TCP, because this is what it is doing, ping and finding of various ports. So you are understanding that point. So how you can scan, entire scan is happen to that, because here I am running. Otherwise, if you're hosting a website, maybe I'll find it out one website, another IP address for your purpose. One more example. What is that IP address? www.IP address. I see IP address.com. Microsoft is search for IP address. www. What is that Saint Gits? I don't remember exactly website. Infosec awareness dot in website. So this is a website I wanted to access. www.infosec awareness. This is the website it is opening. So that now I try to scan whether I'll search this one, where my Wireshark, I'll search it. Also analyze it, expert information. If you see that, what exactly it says, it's a warning. It's a warning. Warning is giving because no response seen to app. Time to live is more increased. Lot of problems are there. So that that analyst can see that are also follow TCP. Okay, follow TCP stream is not available in this with respect. I didn't select. Okay, now this one, remove it. Still it is running. Still it is running. So IP address V in total is reprocessing all packets. So if you look into that, this particular website, follows TCP stream. If you see that, what is exactly this entire accept encoding? Sometimes if somebody is using passwords for every page, it can give me. I can control F. If you want to look into passwords, that also I can see that password. But of course, here in this, nothing password was not given. Any website just access it, so that I cannot see the password level. Otherwise, password also some type password. Some people will use passwd. So I can search all the things. But however, this my point is here. We wanted to say that SYNAC acknowledgement. Before starting this synchronize, whatever I discussed with you, the three-way handshake will go that this is the port of the client port, and this is the website, and this acknowledgement was given, and acknowledgement again I will give, and then only the data came. Get data. So otherwise it won't come. See this sequence numbers and all. If you look into that, so sequence number 0, acknowledgement 1, and this sequence 0, sequence 2, this is the acknowledgement 0, this is the acknowledgement of this sequence 0. This way we can understand each and every communication while you are doing. Every access can be monitored, can be understood, can be expected. If something fraud happens, that fraud also can be identified. I hope you will understand how do we do this with the two tools. See, any kind of, even the tomorrow from this to you are becoming a SOC analyst, I'll ask that same thing here. Let's look like this frame. See, what is this frame packet? This is Ethernet source, where destination and where source address, it's also showing. When it is coming frame, that if you look into the frame, this is the interface total encapsulation. This is what first one. This is what uh, exactly the destination, where it is talking about that destination MAC address, and the remaining thing is the network address. This is the second MAC address. So because of this is Ethernet 2. And then now internet, if you see that internet version 4, the 520 feet version 4 and 20 byte total 5 bytes 20 bytes. Then what is that differential packet service field? Total length packet is 1420, because maximum 1500 bytes. This packet itself 1420. Flags, time to live, fragment set offset is 0, because the packet size is within the 1500 bytes. If it is more than 15 byte, the fragment, what is that would be there afterwards? That fragment number would be there. Time to live 56, and this is what 6 TCP6. What is this protocol? It is the TCP communication, because it is used flags. So if tomorrow, if somebody is giving this packet like this, what is the packet means, whether ICM packet, TCP packet, UDP packet, by seeing this particular 06, you have to 01 ICMP packet. Like that, you have to tell that, rather than by looking into the this tool. So this is what the estimate everybody expects you that to do expertise in this. Then transmission control block, what is the port 80, port number, port destination port, that means my system number, sequence number, then respective sequence number, window size, checksums, sequence and acknowledgement analysis, timestamps, time TCP upload, TCP data segment data, which is at the transport layer. This way, we need to understand the TCP/IP communication. Once these basics and understanding by yourself, you can understand any kind of cybersecurity. Let's say if somebody is doing a DDoS attack on your server, collect the packets. A continuously SYN packets are going, no acknowledgement is coming. Your server is trying to give the acknowledgement, there is no third handshake, and he is not responding client. That is only you can see that. Even the recognizing denial of service attack, DDoS attack, or any other kind of attack, if you are enabled log, if you are collecting the packets across the network, you are able to do it. So that is where. So there is a chat for members are okay. This one is basically to give feedback form. If you have any questions, whether you got something, anything, and you have any kind of doubts, you can type here so that I can answer few of them. Otherwise, my system is collecting packets 8 lakh to 3,568 packets already. Anybody is having any questions at this moment, or anything you wanted to explain till then, what happened or what exactly you want?
Dear participants, any queries can be posted in the chat window.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, when we perform malware dynamic analysis using the virtual box, if we get a network connection from the host machine to the virtual box, when we conduct a malware dynamic analysis, it will create havoc with the host machine. It's not so.
Yes, it can be done. So that's what we always suggest, that once you anything you are doing, because your analysis generally you will do in a one VM itself, not require any network connections. Before you want to do whatever that analysis on particular thing like assemblers, disassemblers, only debuggers and all, you will install even the Kali Linux itself. So you have to do on read only mode. Otherwise, there are specialized sandboxes available for malware where they can control the environment. By default, it will block all the communication and start that. So that's what we always suggest that. See, because when you have a network and the same system, there could be some vulnerabilities within our setup itself. For not to disturb that setup, always we suggest that remove the network connection. You simply select the whatever the option which we discussed during the previous session, in the initial session, that only you select it. So that once everything is happened and analysis happened, by the analysis, you know that what is exactly the behavior of malware, so that whether you need to do contained and fix it, remove it and save it as separately before enabling the network connections.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, is there any much difference between Wireshark and SciShark?
Wireshark and
SciShark, CloudShark.
I never use it. I'm very sorry, CloudShark. I can't comment it, but Wireshark can be used as a Wi-Fi, cloud, or anywhere. This is one of the best tool, because before Wireshark evolved, it is like a Ethereal. This tool in 2000, 2001, 2002, where I started at that time. But when Wireshark is like a GUI and all, even the Ethereal also similar GUI only, but Wireshark has been taken over Ethereal and do. And I'm working on this, but I never tried. I'll look into that. The Cloud Shark. Maybe it's one of the part of this, or otherwise what? It is a separate company.
It is also open source, I think, sir.
Cloud Shark.
CloudShark.
Just let me, anyway, all of you, the Cloud Shark. Network analysis evolved. Yeah. This look like the same.
Yeah.
Enterprise. It's okay. These people are commercializing. It's not initially maybe free demo. So request an enterprises demo. Products, enterprise threat assessment, personal class. See, that's what most of the software, when it is coming, in terms of cyber security. So most of the tools, whatever they were developed for some purpose, and they are all open source at a time. Whether you take Metasploit also, now Rapid 7, and even though you take Nessus, all these tools which we started in early 2000s are now became as in a bigger companies. Maybe this Wireshark is also similar kind of thing, and maybe they were more working towards the enterprises level. But all you are all doing a research, you are all faculty. So I suggest that we cannot invest as much as, because cybersecurity is not today's problem, even not tomorrow's problem. It is a continuous problem, and it is on day basis. Every day we use it to get a 6,000 malwares are coming. So an antivirus company has to do reverse engineering and give the update continuously on day basis. If they sit idle 2 days, 3 days, they will be become behind. Every security tool vendor is also like that. That's what they are doing every year. The same cost what I am buying last year, like in a 15 lakh rupee worth of tool, even though I'm continuing to use that tool next year, they were also charging similar price. So this price, everybody can't afford, and especially the companies are not able to afford it. How a research person can afford it? So it is very difficult to afford it. The open source tools like Wireshark would be enough as per my view, and maybe you can go through this CloudShark also, look into about that and see the difference. And even there's something difficulty in using the Wireshark, maybe if you practice a day extra, 2 days extra, then definitely you will make it yourself comfortable and you can do the things. There is an EtherCap is one tool where you can understand how, as a man in the middle attacks, how to spoof, everything you can learn it. Most of the tools are available, most of the documentation is available. If you go to Wireshark, there is a Wireshark University. See, Wireshark you can learn even though 3 days, and you cannot you cannot learn, I would say that even the 1 year also. That much is there. And if you see that the documents and all, the project host, even though you can support in developing and finding, and even if you are entrepreneurs, you take the code and start that. So a lot of things are there in the this one. And I will show you one of the tool which one of the site where you can support all this. useopensource.com. For all researchers, this would be a very good tool. You can open it and see the tools, which basically these many tools are there. There's many charges. There is a security 396 projects are going, whether it is password related, cyber security related, security tools related, cryptography related, security vulnerability related, bypassing, metasploit. So you have a lot of tools are there and a lot of projects are there. You can contribute it and see that how you can support this open source. And even if you are not supporting, let use them and feel them and give back to that how you felt and what is exactly required, so that somebody would support and you would be supporting. It would be great. So that's what, start your journey slowly and become an expert in this area.
Sir, the tool CDAC Hyderabad has developed Vasu. Is it is freely available or is it a proprietary?
Which one you are talking about again, please?
Vasu.
Basu, I didn't understand this tool. Is it CDAC Hyderabad tool?
But when you some time back, when you take a webinar on cybersecurity, you mentioned about Vasu.
Spell it as
WASUH.
no, there is no such tool. But how you are saying that? Myself is told WASUH.
Vasu.
No, SF, WASF.
ISUH. Vasu.
Okay.
5 letters. 5 letters. WASUH.
Okay, I don't know when I said, but we have tools, but not this particular tool. Like we have an USB Pratirod, WASF. There are blockchain-based tools are there. But anyway, please write to me. My email ID is chasmurty@cdac.in. I'll type it somewhere so that you can. This is my mail ID, so that you can write me anytime, so that I'll look into that. I'll forward it, the related information. Otherwise, you can see in www.cdac.in website, whatever the other tools, even the other CDAC Trivandrum, CDAC Bangalore, CDAC Chennai. There are a lot of tools are available. Maybe I'm not able to recollect that what exactly I told it. I'm very sorry for that. And you can always write to us. Definitely we'll support you that. So in this way, we can do a lot of labs. Even the one tool by one tool, you can download it and install it and say, check it. And a lot of documentation is available across the web itself. You just type it Wireshark labs. So you will get a lot of labs, and you can understand. Basically, whatever you are doing research, you wanted to understand packets, IDS, intrusion, even the tomorrow now. Machine learning algorithms, when you are writing into a normal programming or using some techniques, you wanted to see how it is in network, these tools are perfectly works. Only thing is required an initial resources of hardware resources, and most of the labs, college labs were started. Even the CDAC is also designing one Param Shavak cyber security testing and auditing tools for engineering colleges, which we are planning to release in December, so we can do that. Also, we started one of the I'll just open one website. If all faculty, whomever they're participating, so there is a pmu.website.in. You can. This is what ICE virtual presentation conclave organized by IIT Guwahati, third week of January 2021, where all faculty, young faculty, particularly whoever just joined in the colleges and universities, can. It's only testing your skills in presentation by your own subject, whatever the subject, but is only we are looking about cyber security as a major thing. You need to send it for that your 1 minute video or 2 minute, 5 minute video, upload it so that we will select. It could be used in your own paper, it could be used in your own presentation, and it is an encouragement for all young faculty, PhD scholars, even the MTech and final year students can join and upload their video, so that you will get a good chance to work with IIT Guwahati and IIT Chennai, Madras, so that you can work as an intern for them, even the remotely for 6 months. And even though if you are able to further utilize this one, you can combine project to the ministry also can be done. So this is one of the biggest opportunity for all youngsters who is doing PhD and young faculty, even though this is enabled to the government officials who are just joined in the government up to level 1, level 2 officers also can apply it. So please download this brochure and see that ICPMU done virtual conclave. So this virtual conclave, you present your papers, because now all you are listening mode. We wanted to encourage you to be part of this. So with this, I'm completing my thing, and I'm very much thankful to Dr. Ambili for giving this opportunity, and all the best.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for readily accepting our invitation and for the highly informative hands-on session. And many researchers have benefited a lot from the detailed explanation and step-by-step doing. It was an amazing session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, madam.
I given the credential. Elsewhere, you should not give the same. Otherwise, it will not allow you also to do the creative device and click on.
Once again, thank you, sir. I would like to request all the participants to fill in the feedback form. The feedback sheet can be filled till 4 o'clock.
I need to go into my existing code and
Tomorrow we will start our session sharp by 10:30 a.m. Requesting all participants to be there on time.
same code.
Thank you all.
Made changes here.
Thank you, Murthy sir.
Change here.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Device, IoT, FDP, IIT Go, right?